So, have you ever wondered what really sets billionaires apart? Is it, just about being born into wealth or something else?
Well, yeah, that's the core idea, isn't it? We're going to dive into the specific set of insights. Sources that suggest many self-made billionaires, even those starting from really humble beginnings, they've kind of unlocked what we're calling a hidden mastermind, not like a literal secret society.
Not a handshake.
Exactly. More like a cultivated internal operating system, a specific alignment of mindset, habits, strategies, stuff most people just, don't really employ.
Okay, let's really try and unpack this then.
Okay.
Our mission for this deep dive is to explore these fundamental differences. How does a billionaire's internal mastermind, as you call it, actually operate differently? And maybe more importantly, explore how these principles, if you actually adopted them, could genuinely transform your life. Give you a sort of shortcut to being well-informed about what drives that extraordinary success.
And what makes this so compelling, I think, is how holistic the source material is. It's not just fixated on money, right? It digs into mindset, learning habits, relationships, daily routines, even that often overlooked thing, life balance. So you should get a really comprehensive picture of this hidden mastermind.
So where does this internal mastermind, where does it even begin? Our sources seem really clear. It all starts in the mind.
Yep, the foundation.
And a core concept they bring up is that whole growth mindset versus fixed mindset idea. We hear about it a lot. But how do billionaires really live that?
Well, one detail that jumps out from the sources is just how deeply they apply this to failure. Think about Thomas Edison.
Okay, the light bulb guy.
Right. Famous for, quote, failing thousands of times. But the sources detail how each of those perceived failures, it wasn't a dead end for him. It was systematically treated as like a data point, an iteration, So for someone operating like that, a setback isn't defeat, it's just finding out what doesn't work.
Right.
And then immediately trying something else with that new information.
That's a really interesting way to frame it, isn't it? A total reframe. And speaking of obstacles, the sources make this pretty bold claim.
Yeah.
The biggest thing holding most people back from wealth, it isn't lack of money, it's fear.
Oh, absolutely. A huge psychological hurdle.
Yeah.
And what the sources suggest is that this fear, it's often counteracted by an almost, audacious long-term vision.
Like Elon Musk.
Exactly like Elon Musk. I mean, when he started building rockets with SpaceX, people literally called it madness.
Oh,
Remember?
yeah. Total craziness.
But that unwavering decades-long vision, plus this ability to kind of compartmentalize and push past the immediate fears, failure, public ridicule, all that, that allowed him to push through and basically redefine entire industries. It's like focusing so hard on the horizon that the bumps right in front of you seem smaller.
So, okay, let's bring this back to you, the listener. Take a sec to think. When you hit a challenge, do you see a brick wall or do you see a stepping stone? What fears might be, subtly guiding your choices? Maybe stopping you from taking that longer view. Okay, let's shift a bit. From those mental frameworks to like concrete daily habits. Beyond mindset, the sources point to another critical piece of this hidden mastermind. A relentless but really specific approach to learning. What's the secret there? How do they study?
Well, it seems less about what they learn sometimes and more about the sheer intensity and consistency of the habit itself.
Right.
Our sources keep bringing up figures like Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, even someone like APJ Abdul Kalam, all known for just dedicating serious time to continuous study. And get this calculation from the material. Just 1 hour of focused learning a day adds up to 365 hours a year.
Wow.
Which is genuinely like earning an annual MBA just through consistent, self-directed study. It really shows that for them, learning isn't like a nice to have. It's absolutely non-negotiable, a daily thing.
That stat really lands, doesn't it? It makes it seem achievable.
Yeah.
And it highlights that key distinction the sources make. Just knowing stuff. Knowledge is power. That's not quite it.
No.
It's applied knowledge is power. You can read all you want, but if you don't do anything with it.
Precisely. It just sits there inert. And this applied knowledge, it's not just about finishing a book or a course, though those are vital inputs, obviously.
Sure.
The real power, according to these sources, it comes from the active process, putting what you learn into practice and in the real world. Testing it out.
Experimenting.
Yeah, experimenting, implementing, iterating. Yeah. That's what turns theory into actual tangible impact. That's how knowledge becomes a real asset.
Okay, let's move into an area where a lot of people feel they're really behind: finance. The sources talk about this widespread financial education deficiency, especially in traditional schooling. Makes you think of rich dad, poor dad, that whole idea.
Yeah.
Most of us just aren't taught the rules of the money game.
It's a massive oversight in how we're usually educated, isn't it? And what the sources show is that self-made billionaires, they don't just rely on active income, like a salary.
Right, trading time for money.
Exactly. They become strategic masters of generating passive income. They build systems consistently where their money starts working for them. They understand that real wealth comes from creating assets that make money independently of their time.
This next point really drives that investment mindset home. The sources share this really compelling story about a small vendor.
Oh, I remember that one.
Yeah, started small, but just systematically invested tiny amounts in real estate over years and years. It wasn't some lottery win or crazy gamble, just discipline, consistency, and over time, it built immense wealth. That one really stuck with me.
It's a perfect illustration of the magic of compounding, isn't it? Often tied to someone like Warren Buffett. Right, and the sources explain how money makes money, not as some secret trick, but just consistent reinvestment of earnings. Even small returns, if you keep plowing them back in, they grow exponentially over time, turn small, steady efforts into huge wealth. It's foundational, but people often chase quick wins instead.
So thinking about this, how would you rate your own financial literacy? Are you actually thinking about building that consistent investment habit, even if you're starting really small, embracing that compounding power? Food for thought, definitely. Now let's look at the day-to-day, the routines. Our sources are clear. It's not just about grinding harder, it's about working smarter. There's a method to it.
Yeah, there definitely is. And one insight that really stands out is about the specific structure of their day, the daily routine of billionaires.
Yep.
Sources detail things like, well, waking up early, really early sometimes, dedicated time for meditation or reflection, consistent exercise, and then these highly focused blocks of work.
Like Tim Cook at Apple.
Yeah.
Isn't he up at like 4:30 a.m.?
That's the famous example, yeah. Wakes up around 4:30 a.m. It's about conquering those first few hours, before the world starts throwing distractions at you. Winning the morning.
And it's not just being awake early, it's what they do at that time, right? Which connects to that crucial idea of priority setting. And the famous 80-20 rule, the Pareto principle. The sources show how they rigorously apply this, finding the 20% of actions that will actually produce 80% of the results they want.
Exactly right. And if you tie that back,
this
relentless focus on the high-impact stuff is absolutely critical. They aren't just busy.
No.
They're selectively busy. They pour their energy into the tasks that genuinely move the needle, not getting lost in the busy work. It's about efficiency, not just raw output.
Okay, next up, connections. People. The sources hammer this home with that powerful phrase, your network is your net worth. It's not just luck. It's about strategically being with the right people in the right place.
Which raises the question, doesn't it? How do you actually build that network effectively? The sources really stress the huge importance of mentorship.
Finding guides.
Yeah. Think about Dhirubhai Ambani. Built a massive industrial empire. How? Not just raw genius, but by actively seeking out and learning from others, absorbing wisdom, getting guidance from people who've been there, done that. It's a very deliberate cultivation of knowledge through relationships.
And here's a kind of surprising detail related to networking that the sources mentioned. It's the flip side.
Ah, yes. Equally important.
They really emphasize strategically keeping your distance from toxic people. Those individuals with constant negative thinking or draining energy, the ones who can actually pull you down.
It's like an act of self-preservation for your own ambition, isn't it? Protecting your focus.
Definitely. Now, let's explore something maybe less obvious but critical for long-term success. Emotional control. It's clear from the sources, this isn't just about being smart or working hard. It's about deep inner strength, discipline.
Yeah, the sources really hammer home the importance of self-control and discipline. It's not that billionaires don't feel emotions.
Of course.
But they've developed mastery in managing them. The material even brings up the 5-second rule. Have you heard of that?
Vaguely, yeah. Remind me.
It's a really practical tool, almost automatic, for making quick, correct decisions. The idea is simple. If you have an impulse to act on a goal, you have just 5 seconds to physically move before your brain kills the idea.
Right. Stop overthinking.
Exactly. It's about taking immediate action, overriding that hesitation, whether it's making a tough phone call or just starting that task you've been putting off.
That's a really neat little micro technique. And it's not just about making good decisions in the moment, is it? It's also about bouncing back from the bad ones, the failures. The sources make a strong point. Failures build emotional strength.
Oh, this really stands out. The sources give the example of Jack Ma, Alibaba's founder.
Okay.
Rejected, what, 30 times? For various jobs, ventures?
30 times, wow.
Yeah. Most people would quit after maybe 3 rejections, right? But his incredible resilience, which came directly from building emotional muscle through all that adversity, that's what let him keep going and eventually build one of the biggest companies on earth. It shows emotional strength isn't just something you have, it's forged.
Forged in the fire. Makes sense. Okay, let's shift into the realm of entrepreneurship. The sources frame this not just as starting a business, but as this dynamic mix of risk plus creativity.
Yes, and a key insight is how those two things combine. Think Steve Jobs and the iPhone.
Perfect example.
It wasn't just a slightly better phone, was it? It was a massive risk based on a profoundly creative, innovative idea that completely upended an entire industry. The sources detail how new ideas make people rich through this innovation power, not just, tweaking things.
And what's really enlightening here, I think, is that it's not always just the raw idea itself. It's the deep business model understanding.
Crucial point.
The sources mention examples like Airbnb, Uber, Zomato. These weren't necessarily brand new concepts, maybe.
Right, renting rooms or getting rides existed.
Exactly. But they had brilliant insights into how to execute and scale a business model, leveraging existing stuff or creating totally new markets. That combination led to that explosive success.
And connecting this back, you absolutely don't need to start with some grand world-changing plan. The sources give these really inspiring examples of small start to big success. Companies like Nirma or Amul.
Oh, names now.
Right. But they started incredibly small, humble beginnings, but through consistent innovation and smart business models, they grew into giants. Really shows you can start right where you are.
Okay, we've covered a lot in this deep dive. Success, wealth, habits, mindset. But there's a really crucial question left. Is it really just about the money? Or is there something deeper, like this connection between money versus happiness?
The sources are pretty clear on this. True, sustained happiness for the billionaires their profile seems to come from a real sense of balance.
Okay.
And a key piece they highlight is what they term spiritual power. Now, this isn't always about formal religion.
Right.
It's more about internal practices. Regular meditation, actively cultivating gratitude, having a deeply ingrained habit of giving back. Philanthropy, it's about finding purpose and fulfillment beyond just piling up money. And interestingly, that seems to fuel their drive and resilience even more.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And to kind of wrap up this section, the sources really emphasize a powerful truth. Money without family is incomplete. Foundation, it just underscores the undeniable importance of looking after your family and relationships, making sure that financial success is built on, a solid base of meaningful connections. True, holistic happiness.
Right. So we've explored all these secrets, these strategies that make up this hidden mastermind. Now, arguably the most important bit, the action plan. How can you, listening right now, start actually doing some of this today? Okay, yeah, the sources give some incredibly concrete, actionable steps. First off, nail down a disciplined daily routine. Commit to waking up early, whatever early means for you consistently. Dedicate 30 minutes to focused reading or learning. And create a clear to-do list, focusing on those high-priority actions we talked about.
Okay. Early start, read, prioritize. Got it.
Second, take on a 3-month challenge. Commit to actively learning and applying one new skill every single day for 90 days straight. Build that momentum.
A focused learning sprint. Like it.
Third, implement a simple but effective money management plan. They specifically mention the 50-30-20 rule, pretty common one. 50% of your income for essential needs, 30% for strategic investment, however small, and 20% to dedicated savings.
50-30-20. Easy to remember.
And finally, embrace a networking challenge. Make a conscious effort, schedule if you have to connect with one new relevant person every single week. Expand that circle intentionally.
That's a really solid roadmap. But look, don't feel like you have to do everything at once, right? That can be overwhelming.
Absolutely not.
The real key is just starting, taking action. So which one of those just resonated most with you? Pick one, maybe two. Start right there, today.
And we want to leave you with this really inspiring thought, almost a parable from the source material. It's about a poor boy. Starts a tiny business with just 100 rupees.
Wow, okay.
And by systematically applying these very principles, the mindset, the learning, the discipline, all of it, he turns it into a billion-dollar empire.
So if he could do that, why can't you?
Exactly. That hidden mastermind, that potential for doing something extraordinary, it's already inside you. You just need to awaken it, cultivate these principles, and then really just see how your life starts to change.
What a powerful and, importantly, actionable thought to end on. This deep dive, hopefully, was just the beginning of your journey to unlocking your own hidden mastermind. Go on, apply what you've learned. Discover what's truly possible for you.